Hello guys, today I wanted to talk about City Skylines Snowfall, which was announced about a week ago, and it all sounded pretty well, except for the fact that you would have to be in forever snow if you wanted to play with snow. It wouldn't be part of a seasonal cycle, if you may. And I wanted to talk about, not necessarily about this, although I do want to cover this issue, but also generally how Colossal Order works in the City Skylines. By the way, I love Colossal Order and all, but I am neutral. I'm not a fanboy, so I feel like this is starting to be a trend and maybe you don't see it. You may not see the pattern. So I want to talk a little bit about this, even if they eventually, rebirth the way they're doing Snowfall. So basically, in case you don't know, on the new Snowfall expansion pack, you will have rain for free, and as well as other features, but snow will be part of the paid features, if I am correct. This means that you will have also to start a new map, a new city, if you want to play with snow. Snow will never go away, and snow will have its own mechanics. What Colossal Order says is that because snow has these mechanics, whatever they are, whether it's the snow plow and what have you, they can't make a cycle, or also because if they did want to make a cycle, then they would have to make fall and spring, and they don't have the resources for it. Which in both cases I find it not really to be the case. That is not the way it should be, and there is, in my opinion, as a game developer as well, no reason why you wouldn't be able to have just snow come and go once in a while with, obfuscating the features that are no longer available. But first, before we do that, let's backtrack a little bit and see where else Colossal Order have been doing this. I call this doing things halfway. That is really what I feel that they have been doing. Before the launch, we were all looking at the user interface and going like, okay, that is okay, but are you gonna eventually do like, where's gonna be the final user interface? And they eventually said, no, this is the final user interface. And I guess some people accepted it, but I didn't. To me, it looked like it was made on MS Paint. The icons didn't really make sense between each other. Like, they actually looked with different styles. Some didn't have alishing on the edges, like they were cropped off somewhere. The whole user interface itself, the experience of using it with tooltips coming up, annoying you all the time, the way you zone things, it really feels like they didn't really finish it. Like they were using this user interface for testing and then they just left it there, or they just thought that was good enough, or maybe they don't have a user interface designer and therefore they just used an artist or something else, and the guy was like, well, this is good, and just left it there. And there were many other issues that people, I recall seeing it on the forums and on their AMAs, and the response usually, especially from Marina, I forget her last name, I'm sorry Marina, but your last name was complicated, I forgot it, and it's Finnish, but anyways, the CEO of Colossal Order, but as well as many others, they would just say, well, don't worry, a mother will take care of it. Well, what about that? Well, a mother will take care of it. To the point that people started to question it and made a thread asking, okay, what if mothers don't show up? Okay, who's gonna finish the game for you? Who's gonna polish it? Who's gonna do all this? Luckily, yes, mothers did come in. They didn't necessarily complete the game for them, but in many ways they did. They added a bunch more things, a lot of new tools, a lot of tweaks that people needed, like, removing chirper and many other things that felt unfinished or unpolished or unbalanced or just not properly executed. The game has been really well tweaked by the mothers to make it a better game. So they can, like, wow, okay, you were lucky on that one. But then this kept on happening. We saw this again whenever they released the European tile sets, the European buildings. What happened there is that you would have to play an exclusive European map if you would want to see the European buildings. BS. Who would want to throw away their hard work just to see a different tile set? Why would we want to throw away our cities every time you add a feature? That was a free feature, may I add. But you would have to actually switch away from your city just to see a different kind of buildings. Sure, a mod eventually came along that would allow you to change it on your city and also on different districts, and this functionality was eventually added to the base game. But not initially, okay? Not initially, and they didn't necessarily say that they would add it. So they sort of left us in the dark there for quite a while with that feature. And speaking of dark, in After Dark they also did the same thing. And to date, there is a mod that sort of fixes this, but not really. And the reality is that the day and night cycle, I guess because it wasn't implemented initially in the game, most of the game doesn't care that it's night or it's day. Sure, they made some buildings that do react to night, and they will, you know, open up during night, like clubs and so on. They try to make some mechanics work like that, but really, can you tell a difference between day and night in your game? Think about SimCity 2013, where you would have a 6, 7, 8 a.m. rush hour with the buses going to pick up kids, and then at 5 p.m. you would have yet another rush hour from everybody commuting back from work back to home, and then people going up to the shops. Time really made sense in the simulation in that game. Well, in here, you would even see kids at school during night, because the reality is that this game, well, simulation is quite, you know, simplistic. You know, kids are not actually going to school, you're just seeing them going to school, but they are just being affected by being signed up to the school. They don't necessarily have to go to school to be educated. It's more like, you know, pretending. Just about a third of the citizens that should go to work or study and so on actually do in City Skylines, right? So it's more of where are you supposed to be, and not necessarily if you have gone or not to work or to school. And that has been shown in After Dark. Now, you may find a mod that we have published in our curated City Skylines mod gallery at simnation.tv, our website. A mod that actually puts in rush hour into the game. But it's just one aspect, okay? Where's the rest of how day and night cycle should affect a city, okay? It's not there. And now they're doing this again with Snowfall. Now, the excuse of, you know, not making snow rotate, or say the landscape rotate between snow and no snow, because of, you know, mechanics that are bound only to snow, well, that is really a lame excuse. I am a game developer myself. I do have a game, well, not released yet, but that has seasonal cycles and does have snow, and whenever there's snow, there are different mechanics, but once snow is gone, guess what? Those mechanics are gone. Sure, it takes more development time, I would admit that, because you have to, you know, work on, okay, what's the game balance while there's snow, while there isn't snow, you know, how do I tell the user, look, there's not snow anymore, so this doesn't work, or this doesn't work that way, this works differently. But in the end, it's not like a technical limitation. It is not something that cannot be overcome by just about any developer, I believe. And they don't need to make fall or spring happen to have a seasonal cycle. I mean, you can just ignore those two and just simply make snow or no snow, snow or no snow, and that's it, and everybody will be happy for the most part. But eternal snow, that is a lot of commitment, and you have to stop thinking that binding a feature to a map is correct, because really what keeps the game interesting is keeping it changing, you know. On SimCity you would have disasters, you would have fires that would just eat up a part of your city, and you would have to rebuild it or rethink things. This game, you normally, like, you build something and it's there for eternity, and you're just adding on top of it. You're just making things more eternal as opposed to making them more dynamic. So I can't just simply sit a city rest and fast forward and, you know, not care because nothing can happen anyways, because it will never need my attention ever again. You need to make us feel like we are actively participating in what's happening in the city. We are helping the city overcome whatever you know, the universe throws at it. And no, of course, I am not saying this because I hate Colossal Order or something like that, or I want this video to destroy their company, because of course a video can't do that, but it's really more of a, hey, I detected a problem. How about you take a look at it and maybe you can fix it. Maybe you can be more successful, sell more games, make more money, whatever it is, right? If this video helps by pointing out a problem and maybe even suggesting a solution and it works, then great. That is really all I want. I want this video to be helpful, not to be damaging. This is not damaging in any way. This is feedback, okay? And if you ever had a job on which you have to receive feedback or bugs or whatever it is, you would know that feedback is actually always positive, okay? Even if, sure, they're telling you I don't like this because of X and Y, it's still a good kind of feedback because it's giving you something to work with, okay? Nothing better than a user listing a bunch of problems that are with your game, because it simplified months of testing, okay? Because that person played for 200 hours in your behalf from a different mentality, from a different standpoint, okay? So this is really what this video is about, okay? It's not about criticizing and hate Colossal Order. It is to help. So hopefully we can get an even better city builder, because really there is no competition right now. There's only City Skylines for the city builders. There is SimCity for the city simulator fans, maybe like me. You know, really SimCity has a more accurate simulation of things. Things are actually happening. You know, you see robberies and so on, but there is not much city building. In fact, no SimCity really ever had a lot of city building to it, except maybe with SimCity 4 with the Rush Hour expansion pack, not the vanilla, maybe too much, and you know, then people sure modded the crap out of it. But really SimCity is more about simulation. I do make a difference between city simulation games and city builder games, and this is a city builder game, more like Cities Excel, okay? The simulation was really crappy, but it had some very good ideas, like, you know, filling in the center of a block and so on. So anyways, there is really no competition for City Skylines right now, so really all I ask is, hey, you know, we really need you to pay attention to things and not do them halfway. Don't make a 30-minute meeting and come up with a great idea at the first 10 and then just call it a day and rush with the idea down to the coding room. Do put some extra thought, do finish the thinking process and really think out everything that it means to implement this feature, okay? Otherwise we end up with separate sliders for day and night, for water and police, and we can't even figure out if we should set it higher or lower, or what we should set it to. It doesn't make any sense. Why do we have that feature? You can't even measure if you're doing it well or not. Anyways, that is all really, guys. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to SimNation. We do stream every day on Twitch, and if you would like to find more City Skylines mods, we have a bunch of them at our curated mod gallery, so make sure you check that out at simnation.tv. And also we have a Twitter, which is at SimNationTV. Everything is SimNationTV. And yes, that is all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Oh, this is the most satisfying thing ever. We are God in SimCity 4. Wow, that was loud. Oh, you're gonna eat that, huh? You're gonna eat it. I see. What? Nothing. Okay.
And now she is tossing that salad with her... Stop sticking your finger in your ear! Alright, she's tossing the salad with her earwax.
It does. It does.
It does them really well. Okay.
Oh, they're coming for you, Pablo!
Shit,
Run!
Oh, yeah. These road trips, man, are killing me. Anyway, let me know whenever we are recording. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Extended Play. I'm your host, this is Stuart, and that is a fancy sign. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.